In German language, we have, like in most languages, to conjugate the verbs. This means I do not say to go, I go, you go. We say gehen, ich gehe, du gehst, and so on. So the verb versions are different depending on the person. This means to conjugate. The problem is that it can be very confusing, but don't worry, I'm here for you today, guys, and I will tell you how to do it very easily. I will explain to you how it works, and once you understand it, it will be easy, I promise. And even if you're a total beginner, and I always say, if you start from scratch, do not focus too much on grammar, just focus on the words, on the vocabulary. So if you're a beginner or you just are a bit overwhelmed with all the conjugation versions, then I will tell you how to do it extremely easily. It's not 100% correct, but totally understandable. So this video will help you if you want to do it right or if you want to just use it somehow and be understood. Let's get started. And if you're interested in a private class, you'll find all the information in the info box. So let us start with the conjugation system, and it is very easy and very regular. Many languages have different kinds of conjugations. You have to look at the end of the word and then you see, okay, do I conjugate it like this or like that? Our words are very easy to conjugate. We have very few exceptions, very few irregular verbs, and I will also show you in a couple of minutes words that change the vowel in the middle, but it is not important to do that and to know that. If you write an exam, if you have to pass a test, then you have to know it. If not, only those endings here are important for you, but I will tell you about the other ways of, not conjugating, but using verbs in a couple of minutes. So let's look at those words. You might know them already: gehen, kommen, mögen, and lieben. To go, to come, to like, and to love. Let me explain to you how we pronounce that or how we would say it. I have this video about how to sound like a German, like a native. I would not say gehen, kommen. I would say gehen, kommen, mögen, lieben. We just ignore the e at the end. With plural, so if we say der Mensch, die Menschen, the human being, the human beings. So we would not say Menschen, even though we write it like this. We never say the e at the end of the infinitive verb or plural Menschen, Personen, Katzen, instead of Katzen, Personen, Katzen, Personen, gehen, kommen. So whenever you have an e at the end, don't say it if you want to sound like a native. Of course, it is right to say it, but it just does not sound very German. So what is with the e here? Why is it in brackets? Well, you can leave it out, but it's also correct to use it. It sounds very formal to use it. So use it in exams, use it in books. Also, you will see it in books. The funny thing is that usually your phone writes it automatically with the e. So the messages to friends sometimes sound more formal than it should be because the phone writes it with the e. It recognizes, okay, it's first person singular, ich, and then it shows you the word. Just click on the word, but then it's with the e usually. But if you write it yourself, if you talk, then you do not say the e. This is why I have it in brackets, and I will not say it now, okay? Because I would not say it when I speak normally. So, ich gehe, ich komme. Now, exception. So let's leave out the exception. I just want to show you that there is an exception that you should learn by heart. To like, mögen. And ich lieb. Ich gehe, ich komme, ich lieb. So what happens here? You see, very easy. You just take the infinitive and you leave out the en at the end. And that's your basic version of the word base, and that's your first person singular. Let me give you some more examples. For example, I sing, I shower, I cook, ich sing, ich dusche, ich koch. So you just leave out the en at the end, and then it is always Okay, a few exceptions like mögen, but usually this is the way you build the ich version. You take the infinitive, you do not need to learn anything, no endings, you just leave something out. When we talk about you, one person you, the German du, it is always even in this exception with mögen, with st. It is always st. But actually, you know what? I said something wrong. Even the first person singular, the ich, follows this scheme that I just told you. Just the vowel changed with mögen. But it is actually what I told you. You just leave out the en here as well. The vowel changed, but actually it follows almost this pattern that I tell you about. But yeah, it's a little exception. But even here, even though it is an exception, st at the end as well. Second person singular, du, always st. And believe me, compared to other languages, this is really easy. Then when we talk about he, she, or it, sie, is, geht. So how can you remember that? He likes tea. This is my sentence that I always tell my students. He likes tea. It means you take the base of the word, you leave out the en, and then you add tea. Because he likes tea. He's a tea drinker. He loves tea. So he likes tea. It means you take the word base and add a tea. Now, extremely easy. You see, I wrote it in green as well. We and they are always infinitive. You just take the infinitive. So for we and they, you do not have to learn anything. It is just the infinitive, the basic version of the word, like to go. Gehen, kommen, mögen, lieben. We and they have exactly this version. So two pronouns for we and they, for wir und sie, do not have to learn the conjugation. This is Paloma in the background, by the way. So when we talk about you guys, then what do you see? It's the same as he, she, it. So here you see I wrote the AB. I don't know if you learned it at school, the rhymes, or if you have a poem, usually it is like this. Roses are blue, I'm in bed, so are you, you make me sad. I don't know, it just came into my head. But this is exactly what it is. It's like a rhyme pattern. So let's go through it again. When you speak about ich, you just leave the en out, and then that's what you have and what you use. You do not have to learn or add anything. You just leave something out. You, one person you, du, is st. Always, always, even when we have exceptions. St is always du. Now, very easy, because he likes tea. So you take the first person singular, the basic version of the word, and just add tea. Well, now we have the infinitive. Then we have the he version again with the tea. You can remember it like this. He likes tea so much that he invites you guys as well. I think that's a good sentence to remember that. He likes tea and he invites you guys as well. So the base of the word with an extra T is he, she, it, and you guys. The infinitive, we and they. It makes so much sense once you understand it. Believe me, it makes really much sense. Other languages are so much harder when it comes to conjugation. So what we have here, I do not want to focus on that, but I just want to tell you that we have it in case that you see it or hear it and you do not understand it. Some words, unfortunately, change the vowel. Those words are just a little example. There are also words that do not change to I, but for example to So you have an A in the infinitive, and then you find not an A, but an the A with the two dots on it in the you and he version. But I will not focus on this today. Why? To be honest, it's just not important. So if you said, instead of du isst, you eat, if you said du esst, yeah, of course we understand it. We're not stupid, and from the context, of course we understand it. If you don't say gibt for he gives, but oh, sorry, I see there's a there's a mistake. Of course, it's only one T. So the one in brackets is wrong. I'm so sorry, I just see that now. So just delete this in your head. So if you say not gibt, but gibt, yeah, it's clear, of course. If you write an exam, if you have to pass a test, unfortunately, you have to learn those versions. But actually, it's not important. I just want to show you that it exists if you hear something. So if you know essen means to eat, but then somebody says du isst, and you're like, huh? So just for you to know, especially with essen, because it's really, really important. Yeah, if you talk about you and he, she, it, then it's with E, so don't be confused if you see it or hear it like this. But here is the number one best tip on earth. If you can't remember what I just told you, even though it's really important and easy, but if you just can't remember it, hey, then just use this trick. You say gehen, the infinitive, for everything. Because in German you have to use the pronoun anyway. So you have to say ich, du, er, and so on. Anyway, you cannot leave it out like in Spanish. It's not quiero or duerme, and you do not say he, she, it, but you have to say it. So honestly, it's totally okay if you just use the infinitive. When you want to speak and if you want to have a conversation, and believe me, having a conversation where people understand you, for me, it's still very hard to understand others, but in all of my languages, people understand me extremely well. And this is so, so motivating. By the way, I do understand others, just no movies. Movies, really, really bad. French and Spanish movies, really bad. And Hungarian, yeah, always bad, no matter who's talking to me. But everybody understands me. And if you want to have this thrilling moment of, oh my God, I just expressed myself in German and people understood me, you can do it like this. So you do not say ich esse for I eat, but ich essen. And so let's make a sentence with this. Ich essen, dann ich gehen ins Bett, dann ich putzen meine Zähne. Of course, it's not officially right, but you will be understood. Definitely, I swear to you, you will be understood and you will be able to have a conversation. And then you will be so motivated. And if you do it like this, two pronouns are right anyway, because I told you we and they always have the infinitive as the right bending of the verb. So only four are wrong. So yeah, this is how you conjugate, and it's really not complicated actually once you understand these endings. Just learn them. Take 10 minutes, write them down, use colored pens, just write some examples of words that are important to you or the ones that you should know. I mean, it's always important to learn words that have a meaning for you, for your life. So if you, for example, if you're a singer, then of course you should learn the word to sing. Or I had a student, she loved baking her own sourdough bread. So for her, it was extremely important to conjugate the word to bake. For me, I think I just know it in my native language in English, and that's it, because I don't care about baking. I don't know it in all the other languages. So, but maybe there's a verb that is very important for you, maybe a hobby or so, then write it down with the right conjugation, the right ending, learn those endings, look at them, use different colors. So it is really actually very, very easy to understand once it clicks in your head, believe me. I wish you all the best. Please contact me if you want to book a class or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching and have fun learning German. Ciao, mach's gut.